Hello, seniors, and thank you for taking some time to preview this pre-recorded overview of our English 7-8 Plan for Success. The Plan for Success, as you know, is a very important document as it outlines all of the policies, expectations, and procedures that are really going to be important for you to be successful in this course. Yesterday, you were given the assignment before we left for class to read that plan for success. I think a lot of you have done that. If you have not, I highly encourage and highly recommend that you take some time to read that plan for success in detail. Make sure you understand all the words and everything that is going to be expected of you. What I'm doing here is just providing you with an overview, kind of hitting some of those major parts. So I want to make sure we are all on the same page as we move forward. So this presentation in no way replaces you actually sitting there and reading that document. Like I said, I really encourage you to do so. So we're going to move forward. English 7-8, what I want you to know about this course is this is our final course of your high school career, obviously. You know that you need 4 years of English credit to graduate, and this is that fourth and final year that you are trying to earn your English credit for. English 7-8 is focused around British literature, and it has an overarching theme of choosing your own path. So a lot of the readings and the writing we're going to do has a lot to do with you discovering which direction you want to take. And if you know, great. And if you don't, that's also okay. But a lot of our literature that we study is going to deal with choices and your ability to make a choice based on your own research. There will be a research project. There will be a couple of different essays that you write. So that's a really brief overview of the class itself in terms of curriculum and literature. Why am I excited to teach this course? It's like I've mentioned before, it's been about 4 years, maybe even 5 years since the last time I had taught senior English. And I'm incredibly excited to do so. My favorite class when I was in high school was my senior English class. That teacher was amazing and she inspired me to want to be a teacher. So I have a very warm place in my heart for senior English. On the screen, you see a couple individuals. You see a group of young men in football uniforms that I coached last year, some seniors I got to work with. You see a graduating class 2 years ago, and we even take a flashback almost 8 years ago when I coached and taught seniors at a previous high school. And so I'm excited to teach this course because senior year is a very big deal. It's a very exciting time for you. It's your last year of free public schooling, and I think that's just exciting. And so I'm excited to be on this journey with you. I'm excited to help you. I'm so excited to support you, challenge you, push you, and make sure you make the most out of these next 9 months. You know this, I just want to repeat this, but your materials required for this course, as I mentioned, the second day of class. Obviously, you know you'll need your laptop. You'll need access to Microsoft Office and Microsoft Teams. I'm not going to require you, to keep a composition notebook, but I would highly recommend that you have some sort of paper next to you as you're working through either notes or maybe writing. There will be lots of times, as we've already done it, where we're going to be taking notes and writing in our staff notebook our student notebook on Teams. But if you're a person like me who likes to just write with pencil and paper and take notes that way or plan your essays that way, that's also recommended and encouraged as well. Also, you need something to write with. It can be a pen or a pencil, but you need to have something there for you. There may be times when instead of putting something in the chat, I may have you write down something in your notebook. So these are your required materials that you need for this class. Also, if and when we do come back in-person schooling, I think it would be important for you to have a notebook that you've already taken some notes in while we've been online. So you could use that notebook, obviously, when we get back in person. So that's one of my reasons for encouraging you to have one. Again, you don't have to go out and buy one, but I would encourage you to do so. Here is our grading scale, guys. This is very, very straightforward. I'm sure you've seen something like this in every single one of your English classes and even every single one of your classes. So for this class, it's the same. You know that in order to earn an A in this class, you need to get between a 90 and 100%. A B, you need to earn a 89 and 80%. You need to earn a 70 to 79, and if you want to get a C, a D would be 60 to 69%. And unfortunately, if you did land in that very bottom F range, 59 to 50, you would not be earning credit for this course, and thus, unfortunately, not graduating on time with your class. So I want to be very clear that I know this looks familiar to you, but these are our grades. And this is our scale that we're going to be using to assess you on. This is actually really important too. So in the grade book, we have 4 different categories, or you can think of this as 4 different sections that your assignments are going to be put into. So your first section is tests and quizzes. Your second section is classroom practice. Your third section is class performance. And last but not least is independent work. So I want you to take a second and pause this video, and I want you to identify which section or grading category is weighted the most. I know you math geniuses out there easily figured out that independent work is weighted the highest, is weighted the most. So independent work could be anything from your major essays, major projects, major presentations. So that is where the bulk of your grade is going to come in this class. So I want you to understand that quizzes and tests are obviously important. Doing things in class for practice is obviously important. And even class performance, sometimes I'll ask you to work in a group. Sometimes I'll ask you to share things. Sometimes I'll tell you to go into breakout groups and come back with certain questions answered or having read some things. So all those categories are important as well. But if you notice, they're only worth 10% of your grade. So I want you to be very aware that there is a big chunk of your grade that's coming from work that you are doing independently, work that is your responsibility. And I think that's one of the solid and good points about senior English or English 7-8 is that this is your responsibility. We are pushing you out into the world, whether that's college or career, and a lot of your success depends on what you are able to do independently as an individual. And so that's why we weighted independent work so heavily. Attendance. I want to make sure you read this slide carefully. So if you pause and read, I'd really encourage you to do so. But basically, this is a district policy, guys. This is not something that the English 7-8 teachers at Carl Hayden came up with. This is the district policy across all of our schools for every single grade level. An absence is defined as not being present or in class for more than 1/2 of the period. So think about how we're learning right now. Right now we are learning for 90 minutes. So half of 90 minutes is 45. If you come in after 45 minutes into class, you will be marked absent. Now again, that's not saying that you can just miss half of class or come in right before that 45-minute mark and still be counted as present. You know you're going to miss a lot of work. But I want you to understand that technically by our school board, if you are not in class by 45 minutes in, you are considered absent. I also want to point out that you are really only allowed 12 absences for any course that you're taking here at Carl Hayden. Anything after 12, 12 and over, whether it's excused or unexcused, you are in serious danger of losing credit. The senior English team, the English 7-8 team, has devised a plan that if you do start to get really high with absences, you do have the opportunity to go to Saturday school if and when that becomes open, and that will sort of erase one of your absences. But again, that depends on us getting back to in-person learning. So I really need you here every single day. I need you present, and I need you engaged with the learning, because of this new 90-minute block, we cover a lot, and we're gonna cover a lot. So I need you in class every single day. This is important, guys. You are big boys and big girls, which is another reason I'm excited to teach senior English. You are nearly 18 years old, and you are responsible for getting any missing work. That's your responsibility. I will not chase you down. I'm not going to continue to call you or reach out to you. That's your job. If you are absent, or if you know you're going to be absent, it is your job and responsibility to communicate with me and make sure you know that there will be work that you missed for that day. So you have exactly 2 days from the day you were absent to submit any missing work. So 2 days. You have 2 days. So for example, if you were absent on a Wednesday and you missed a writing assignment or activity, you have till Friday to get that work in for full credit. So remember, it's your responsibility, guys, so make sure you are on top of all your assignments and any makeup work you might need. Essays. This is also an important one, especially for senior English. A part of writing essays in this class, guys, is being able to come up with your ideas and jot those down in a first draft. Okay, so if you do not turn in a first draft or a rough draft, you will only receive partial credit for your final draft. So it's really, really important that you turn in a rough draft, even if that rough draft doesn't have all the quotes or all the paragraphs that you need. It's important that you turn in something. A rough draft is designed for me to look at, for your peers to look at, and give you some feedback and some guidance as you prepare for the final draft. So that's really important. Rough drafts are a big deal. They are important. So please take the time, take the effort to get those turned in so we can really see where you're at on the final draft. Academic misconduct. This is the part, if I'm being completely honest, I do not like about senior English or English 7-8. I could tell you stories on top of stories of hard conversations I've had to have with parents, with students, because their son or daughter was caught cheating. And cheating in this class is anything from plagiarism to copying and pasting something you found online and putting that into your paper. That is considered plagiarism. From taking someone else's work and using that as your own, that's considered cheating. That is also academic misconduct. Taking something and putting your name on it as if it were yours, that is academic misconduct. Changing an assignment, that's also considered academic misconduct. So please understand that those offenses are serious. They will result in a phone call home, possibly a conference with parents, and if need be, a referral to the discipline office. I know this question will come up, but it's really important, especially on our big senior project that we have coming up after the 9 weeks, that you are taking that very seriously and that you are not guilty of any academic misconduct in that area. So acknowledgement. You and your parents will be responsible for acknowledging, aka signing, that you understand the expectations and procedures outlined in this document. Now, obviously, with us being online, that will look a little differently this year. I'm not going to make you print out anything, get it signed, and then scan it back to me. Rather, as you'll see in a second, in your notebook, on the same page as your plan for success, there are two links